Well, we have Bitcoin and Litecoin start to recover today. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. I thought I'd get this video out there because there's going to be a bunch of FUD videos out there saying we're crashing, this is the huge correction, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to put this out there to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. We're going to take a look at Litecoin, then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to take a look at that Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. And that has a lot to do with what's going on in our key areas. So definitely stick around to the end to check that out. And that'll also show you why I believe we're going to hit 46,000 by the end of the year. So that sounds interesting. Definitely stick around. Also, I want to remind you guys, we have a free Discord group. The link to that is below the video in the description box. There's some other affiliate links in there that help the channel out, guys, if you use them. So definitely check them out. And let's get on with the video and see what's going on. Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my view and my opinion of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. You can click the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. And then if you tick that little notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos and when I go live, as I do try to post at least once a day. So definitely you don't want to miss out. Anyways, the other thing I ask is just give it a giant thumbs up, guys, and leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I had someone yesterday tell me that this flash bothers them on the cursor. If that does bother you, let me know in the comments below. The reason I do that is so, especially for people on mobile, so they can see where the cursor is. But let me know what you give me some feedback on that if you would. But anyways, let's get into the video. All right, looking at this as a cup and a handle here, and we could actually be forming a bigger one later, but we're looking at this one now, the beginning of the cup, round to the handle, and the measured move off that, 180, guys. I'm still with that. I cleared up the chart a little bit, got rid of the 168 and all that. That's what I'm looking at now, is the 180 area for Litecoin. I know everybody's getting paranoid right now, but if you look at the trend lines, everything's still in play. We're still parabolic. I hate to see people lose money and get out, especially if, you know, they're holding coins and they're trying to just use their coins to accumulate more coins and they don't understand it. They end up losing coins, and I hate to see people do that. But anyways, this is what I'm seeing right now. I do have some higher targets than the 180, and if you look at the rising broadening wedge here, the measured move of the breakout of that, if we were to break out, now guys, these targets can change depending on where we break out here, but this would be around the 165 area if it was to break there. I'd be looking at the 275, and again, it's not like we would go straight up, guys. It's definitely, you know, we're going to have resistance on the way, some choppy action, but these targets are kind of just a guide to where we could be headed. And if we ride up slow and come up to the 180 here and break through the 180, then that target gets me up to the 302 range. Excuse me. So yeah, we're on the $300 range. Let's go into the RSI now in the daily and try to see what's happening here. All right, so if we look at the RSI on the daily, we're popping out of the falling channel here, but this is the daily, guys. We can come right back in it within the day. I want to look also, if you look here, we've had, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to show you guys divergence real quick. This here is, we're creating higher highs, and if we look in here, we're creating lower lows, and higher lows, and in here we're creating lower lows in the RSI, which is hidden bullish divergence. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. I'm going to now go over to the 4-hour RSI. Same thing, we've falling out of this falling channel here. Now, that doesn't mean doom and gloom, guys. Could we go all the way down to this 15 on the RSI and test the bottom of this falling channel? Definitely possible, but we definitely don't have to. But I will show you what that means in the price action. Let's look at price action now in the 4-hour. Okay, guys, so I know everybody's panicking this morning, but if you remember, we had this rising, broadening channel in the yellow. I also have a new trend line here off of these peaks over here. So I definitely think we're headed up to that area, and that could, depending on where we break out here, guys, in this channel. You know what? Before I do that, sorry, I'm going to go into the bearish scenario. So we had these lower targets here. This one around the 200 EMA at 122, we broke through that. I had this target around 112. We broke through that a little bit. I mean, but that was depending on where we hit the bottom of this ascending broadening wedge. So obviously we could still come down more to somewhere around the 107, 108 range. If we broke through that, guys, then we could be looking at, you know, lower possibilities. The worst case scenario, $60 to $61. But I don't think that's going to happen. I believe this bottom trend line will hold right here. Excuse me. So looking at that as if, like I said, I believe this is going to hold. This is worst case, very absolute worst case scenario, guys, as that's the long-term bottom trend line. So we're going to look at the targets now. There's our 180 target. So if we're to stay in this channel and come up to the 180 and break the 180 there, my next measured move would actually be around the $230 range. But I believe it's possible we break through before that. And I have a target here at 217, which would, if we were to break out above the 163, 165 range and go from there in this area, then that's 217. Like I said, it's subject to change where we break out here. That's why I do make updates every day and try to keep everybody updated on what's going on. So, but yeah, I think we're safe here, guys, and we may even just be bouncing up from here. But if not, like I said, you know, we come back up to test this 55 or the 200 EMA and come back down, test the bottom of this line. But I do believe this bottom trend line is going to hold, so do not panic. I know you're going to be seeing all kinds of videos on YouTube today, just panic videos and FUD videos. You guys try not to get caught up in that crap, guys. I do believe we're safe on this bottom line. So let's look at Bitcoin now. As you can see, I put another higher target up here. I still have that 14.5 target. We hit our 13.6 target yesterday. Actually went a little above it. So I have this trend line here in Bitcoin. I want to point this out. I put this in this morning, and that's off of these wicks here. We had 3 touches. So this is a good trend line for me. Another rising broadening wedge, a bigger one. We already hit our target of the breakout of this one, which was the 9,600 area. And now, obviously, we broke back down in it, but we did that over here too. So nothing to panic about. I do believe we'll probably end up back in this within the next couple days on top of this. And that's where I get this target of the 21,000 range. So I'm definitely looking at that, guys, and that will break our all-time high. We're probably going to have a huge fight here. People are going to be selling that bought the top over here. But I do believe, obviously, we're going to break through that and get to the $46,000 to $47,000 range, and I'm going to show you that in the end. But first, we're going to continue looking at what's going on here. I hope that makes some of you feel a little bit better about what's going on, because there's a lot of panic in the space right now for people that don't understand the market. So here's the daily RSI. We were in this channel forever. We popped out into a falling channel, popped out of the falling channel, back up here, and we were watching this top line here for a top out on the RSI, which we did hit. We are in the daily, guys. I know we're dropping down below here, but I believe we have room to pop up. and we could always create more divergence. So let's look and see if we're having any divergence now. There is somewhat a divergence, but obviously this is a bearish divergence. We have higher highs in the price action, and we're staying even down here in the RSI. So 4 hours is going to give us a little bit better clue of the more recent, but I do want to show you absolute worst case scenario, guys. Now is 7,900 to 8,000, which would be retesting the top of this wedge that we broke out of. I don't see that happening. Let's go back to the RSI. Oops. And we're going to go into the 4 hour. All right, so the 4 hour RSI, we had been watching this. We had a falling channel here, popped up out of into a rising wedge, popped out of the rising wedge. Is there a possibility we come back down and test this bigger rising channel? That is possible, but we'll see. I honestly don't think we will, but if we do, I do have targets for that, so we'll look at that in the video. But I do want to show you that we are seeing hidden bullish divergence in the RSI. We're getting higher highs in the price right here, which is over here. If you look right, where are we at? Right here. This is the low in the RSI. Right here in the 4 hour. Now this is our higher low in the price, our lower low in the RSI. So that's hidden bullish divergence, guys. We could come down a little bit further, but that's just going to make it a stronger hidden bullish divergence. Let's go into the price action now. We'll look at the bearish case scenario first. All right, so bearish case. As you can see, we had this triangle drawn here, and we came down and tested the top of that for support. And so far, we're getting support off it. But if we do break through, I look for support at around the 10,000, between 10,008 and 10,009, which would be this 55 EMA. And then we have the 200 EMA, which we need to, if we break through the 55, we could be looking at going down to this, which would be the 9,200. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think we're going to get support here. Like I said, worst case, we come back down, test the 10.8, 10.9 area, and get our bounce from there. I did draw this trend line in here. As long as we stay above this trend line here, guys, we're still parabolic. I don't see this ending anytime soon. I see nothing but good stuff. I still have this target of the 14.5, and that's if this holds here. And that would be just the measured move off of there. Like I said, we hit our target yesterday. I had it at 13.6. We got up to like 13.8, 13.850, somewhere in there. But that was our sell target. I did enter a position today or last night. I put the order in, it hit. I'm not sure what time it hit, but 12,000. I am in along at 12,000 here. It's only 5 times leverage, so I got plenty of room. I'm not worried about it. But like I said, look for this 10.8, 10.9 and a bounce from there. But we're going to look at the bigger picture and why I'm not too threatened or worried about what's going on here. Let's look at the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart. As you guys know, this is my target for the end of the year, 46 to 47,000. We've broken through this. If you look at this trend line I've drawn here from these 3 points, those were our support during the bear market, and I drew that up. And as you see, when we go over to the gold weekly chart, you're going to see the same thing, the same trend line and what we did up here. But we could come back down to test this, guys, and that also lines up with that 10.8 to 10.9 area. So it's definitely possible. Now keep an eye on this chart, and I'll show you what I believe is happening. We are right in the just a good area in this chart, guys, for some major upswing. Now we're going to go over the gold daily. As you can see, we broke through this, came back down, tested it, and then continued on up from there. This is the area I believe we're in right now, guys. Right about here. We got a lot to go. pattern is a pattern. I know people say, well, that's the weekly and Bitcoin's on the daily. Doesn't matter. A pattern's a pattern. Human emotion is human emotion. Bitcoin's just playing out a lot faster than gold did. Times are a lot faster. It's a smaller market, easier to move. But human emotion doesn't change. It will always react the same, guys. So yeah, that's we'll zoom in and look at it a little bit closer and show you how both of them bottomed out the same. I put this blue line in here yesterday. You can see it was resistance here, support here. I found the same area in, and if you look, we went up, we topped out, we came down, and that was our support. And now everybody knows what gold's doing now. Looks like it's going to continue up. So let's look at the Bitcoin daily chart. I drew that blue line in the same area. I measured this all out. That's around the 24,000. So within the next couple months, guys, we could be seeing 24,000. Get a little rejection, a little correction, and up to our 46,000. Call me crazy. I am pretty damn confident in that, guys. But again, this isn't financial advice. I'm showing you my opinion and my view. But then after that, what could happen? Could we come back down and test the 24? How big of a correction would that be? Take a look at it. If we were to get up to the 46, come back down, that would be about a 48 to 50% correction. And then continue up from there. I do believe that's possible. I do believe this bull run's going to last a couple years. Yeah, just amazing things, guys. I feel I'm so happy that I'm here now in the market, and you should be too. We're still early, super early, guys. So anyways, let's look at how gold bottomed out here. All right, so as you guys can see, I have the trend line from here, the long-term trend line. Gold hit the bottom twice, broke through. We had the blue line off of these supports here from the bear market, and it became resistance and then support. Same thing with the white trend line, the same one we're looking at BTC now. And if you look at closely, we came back down and tested that line. So that's why I say we could be coming down to the 10.8. That's where it lines up in there. But now we're going to look at Bitcoin and how it bottomed out. Oops, sorry. Not what I was trying to do. Look at Bitcoin, how it bottomed out. Same thing, long-term trend line. 2 touches on the bottom. We had broke right through this resistance here, the blue line, which is in the same spot as the gold, going off of these supports right here in the bear market before we broke down. And we came back down with this big wick. I don't know if you can see it. Tested it and moving on up. This was where I showed you we could come down and test this line, guys, which would get us around the 10.8. No big deal. That would just give us huge momentum to go up. Do we have to go down and touch? No. And that's why I showed you earlier. You know, we could stop. We could be all right where we're at and continue up from here. Yeah, but that 10.8 right there is the 55 EMA. 10.8, 10.9, right in that area. So I believe we're safe there, guys. Worst case, we come down, test the top of this. Now, if this breaks, there's a little bit of leeway here, but not much. And then that would make my whole gold to Bitcoin theory invalid. But I don't see it get invalidated, guys. I don't see it. This thing's playing out beautifully. So anyways, yeah, that's where we're at if we were to look at it in the gold chart perspective. Now let's go over to back to Bitcoin. We're going to look at the RSI. And we're going to take a look at the last bull market in 2013 compared to the 2017. As you can see, the 2 trend lines here. Same angle, same trend line. This is 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. We had 2 touches of resistance on this trend line and broke through and began the bull market. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. 2 touches of resistance, broke through. We are now in the bull market. Regardless what Fudsters say, we are in the bull market, guys. Let's look at the monthly. So in the monthly, I have the 2 arcs drawn in here. This one is going to be quite different, I do believe. But This is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them. 2017 bull market followed by the 18 bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them. Bull market. I do believe this is going to be much quicker run up, obviously, than this one was. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you went ahead and subscribed by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. And then you could tick the notification bell that gets you notified when I post new videos. Like I said, I do post every day and try to keep people updated as things change. So definitely consider subscribing, ticking the notification bell, smash the likes, leave your comments. Let me know what you think, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.